Hello, YouTube friends, YouTube family. I am recording another video video talk to share and hopefully draw you into deepen your experience of presence. A lot of my friends are with their mind 24/7. Battle it continuously. Good thoughts, bad thoughts, past, future. And very few, if any, are here in this moment. When at the same time, this is where your life takes place. It doesn't take place in the past, and it doesn't take place in the future. The past does not exist, but as a thought form, and the future doesn't exist either, but as a thought form. The only thing that is having a reality on its own is this moment right now, here. And I would love to meet people that can be with me here, not just in their past, telling me about how right they are. Of course they are, and morally superior and so smart and so right. In the future, how they know how bad it is or how good it's gonna be. Mostly it's bad. I would like you to be here with me. The strange experience I had so many years back that opened a different reality for me was, and I mentioned this before and I mention it again, not to say, oh, sorry, this guy, what happened to this guy. No, that's not the point. To share with you that loss can crack open the ego shell. Suffering can crack open the ego shell, and all of a sudden there is a big shift in awareness. What cracked this shell for me is a loss, great loss. Not only did I lose loss, on some level I lost everything, and my family and my house, my business, my car, my credit cards, and my identity most through. I started to realize I'm not my ring, I'm not my clothes I wear, I'm not my hair, I'm not my mind-made identity. And then my wife at the time died after 12 years of marriage on top of all that. And it cracked open the ego shell that was so busy accumulating as much money as I can, trying to make it now what, but preserving my lifestyle, and here I was, instead of my 40-acre estate, by some miracle, I found myself in a little mobile home, and if you would have asked somebody at that time, they would have probably thought, oh, poor guy. But at this later time after this happened, I was internally at such peace and happiness that I slept like I was dead. It was so much peace. I did what I wanted to do, and things looked so different for me for a long time. Eventually, my ego reformed a bit, reformed. And just in recent years, actually in the recent year, another story that I had, that I was hanging on to, also disappeared by actually, in a way, getting what I wanted. And I thought, oh yeah, when I have that, I'll be happy. And I did have that. And after a little while, weeks, months, it dawned that I'm not any happier. I'm not all of a sudden living on Easy Street, and I was just not anything different. And again, through that realization, I didn't have that escape story anymore, and all of a sudden faced again the isness, the is. And I'm sharing this with you not to solicit your sympathy, but to demo you a occurrence that, yes, there's difficulty in that to swallow this, to grog it, to shift from an intellectual knowing, which is actually a way of saying not knowing, to a fully knowing that now and then still has not stabilized. It comes and it goes. Not totally. It doesn't totally go. But I share this with you because this is the path of a gradual awakening over the last 25 to 30 years. And here I sit with many more years to this body, but a freedom that losing is also, there's a nice saying, when the ego loses, the soul rejoices, something like that, that you can lose on one level, and on the other one you can gain. And the isness, a deeper level, not just what I call the level of content of having this and this and this, and things come in your life, but on that level things come and go all the time. I share all this with you because you can perhaps find some strengths in my sharing, which would be great if that's great for you. And you can also see that not everybody wakes up overnight or even in a year or two. Some are tough cases, like I guess I am, and so here I sit and I want to share. I studied with Eckhart Tolle so long. I read his books, and lately I observed a course with him and his wife. They were putting on a teacher of presence, and I've been made aware that the world needs that. For me, it's not about teaching somebody something. It is really, I would love to be a benign being. If I could be a blessing to my environment, hallelujah. And that's a big motivator for me. I have a child, and I'm thinking, well, it's in a term of speech that I have a child. I'm aware that I don't have anybody. They came into this world through me. They're not mine. And I would love for the world to exist after my being here as a better place. If that would be nice. Not treating it like a subway station and throw your garbage everywhere. Not like that. So anyway, I'm sitting here and sharing what I can share for right now. Thank you for listening, and please find in the link the opportunity if you wanted to donate something. I gotta eat, so I need to learn to ask for that. And if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. I would love to make more of these videos, and somehow hope that it contributes to my financial welfare as well. I would be I would be very thrilled if it could the silence is a very important part, the gaps in the speaking and in everything, because the teaching is there in the silence. In the words, there's a transport of information and an exchange, but not solely in that. It is also in the unseen, in the unheard, in the quiet. I've been told that that's where God lives. So thanks again. Have a good evening, and I'll record some more in a little bit. Thanks for listening, and thanks for your support in one way or another. And talk to you soon. Bye-bye.